They're fast, silent, and extremely lethal. Special Warfare Combat Crewmen are our nation's elite maritime mobility operators. But to join their ranks takes a special breed of warrior. For 37 weeks, SWCC candidates are pushed to their absolute limits, both physically and mentally, to ensure only those with a special mix of character, cognitive, and leadership attributes make the cut.
We have all day.
We take you inside the SWCC assessment and selection process and their subsequent training to show you what it takes to become a part of the most exclusive small boat unit in the world. Welcome to SWCC, making an operator. Inside this tent, the 29 remaining candidates from Class 117 prepare for the final crucible event of Alpha Phase. For the next 72 hours, they will push the limits of their mental and physical readiness during what's known as the tour. The tour kicks off with a bang during what's known as the breakout, a challenging evolution where candidates must prove their grit under the added stress of simulated gunfire and smoke grenades.
Move! Wait! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
About right now, it's probably a pretty good reality check. They just came off the weekend. They're probably hanging out, you know, nothing too chaotic, and it's almost a slap in the face of physical ability here. So I'd imagine they're pretty tired of it. We're only an hour in, but they're still hating it.
Yeah. Or guess what? We can send you somewhere where you can sandbag, okay? Hey. Yeah. It's not going to be here. I promise you that. I will not allow it. It's my job to make sure it's not allowed, okay? Yeah.
The tour is designed for them to push past what they thought was their limits and find new limits. And that's what makes a great operator, is someone that knows their limits and knows how far they can push past their limits in order to get mission success. So ultimately, mission success for a candidate in the tour is to perform throughout the tour, be there for their teammates, and persevere at the end. The real purpose of the tour is to put candidates in stressful situations. They feel uncomfortable the entire time. They have very little rest. They're sleep deprived. And the only way they can make it through tour is if they're there for their teammates.
Let's go. There you go.
After the breakout, they carry their boats to the beach for surf passage.
Right now, they're about to take these small boats and do what's called surf passage. We're gonna paddle out past the surf, flip the boat, get back in, and paddle back into the beach. We're gonna do that multiple times, just working our way down the beach until the next evolution.
The class continues this process for hours, slowly moving down the beach with their boat crews. The tour focuses heavily on teamwork. If a candidate isn't pulling their weight for their team, instructors will pull them aside for a reality check. If a candidate is willing to take shortcuts to lighten their load at the expense of their teammates, they aren't cut out for this line of work.
You realize every single day you're here is a job interview. Yeah. You're assessed in your tenacity, your mental aptitude, and your physical grit. You realize we have days left on this. We're an hour in.
1 hour in.
Are you ready?
The morning continues with boat races up and down the steep sandburns on the beach. After hours of non-stop physical challenges, the candidates get their first short break to eat lunch.
It's just non-stop go. There's not really any breaks. You just kind of put out. I hope to get a hydration break and then turn around and do it again. That's all we've done so far. So we'll see what else they have in store for us.
Just gotta put out and hopefully they'll eventually leave me alone. But it is what it is.
It's gonna be a rough 3 days, I'll tell you that.
We whether you're hydrating, whether you're walking around here, whether you're running, doing push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, whatever you're doing, you're going to give 110%. Does that make sense?
Yeah! So we're day one doing the conditioning run.
It's easier to keep up than it is to catch up. We have all day. Let's go, close the gap. Close that gap. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You guys haven't even got to the fun part yet.
During the run, the class gets its first DOR of the tour.
Normally the first 24 hours we'll get roughly 3 to 5, but it's all kind of just dependent on, you know, the class size. So this is definitely not new.
As instructors and staff, we genuinely want all of our candidates to succeed, but it's ultimately their decision. In most cases, the candidates that are willing to stay uncomfortable for their teammates are the teammates that we want. They generally find the will to push through, and that's who we're looking for.
Drive your legs. Drive your legs. Enter the water.
Next comes the dreaded brick tread evolution.
Keep your brick out of the water. Your brick will stay above the water. Keep the brick out of the water. It should not be touching the water.
Yeah, so we're at the CTT and we're doing brick tread evolution. The purpose of this evolution is to put the students into a stressful situation, basically mentally stressing them out. Some are fishing the water, not gonna have a hard time with it, but a lot of times most of the students are gonna have a very hard time treading water. Are we doing this to test them at treading water? No. Are we doing this to see how good they can tread bricks? No. All this is a mental block that we're trying to see if they're willing to push through in a stressful situation.
Give it all up. You want to give all this work up. Get your ass in. Get in there. You want to give it all up all this time?
What we don't want is guys who are going to go to the team, maybe get into a bad situation, bullets start flying, and that guy wants to run. We don't want that, so we want to kind of cut that out and find those people here and kind of keep them from moving forward in the training pipeline if they're going to be that type of person that's going to run in a stressful situation. So this is the most stress we can basically put on them without actually shooting at them, rockets flying, whatever. You know, it's all it is holding a brick above the water.
You touch the wall again. You touch the wall again, you're done. You understand me? You touch the wall again, you're done.
I think right now 2 students have DOR'd, so they've taken themselves voluntarily out of the program today.
One straight line, mind up.
You're young. You got a lot of growing, a lot of maturing to do. It's fine. As you mature, as you get some more life experience, you're going to get stronger, right? You're mentally going to grow. And you're going to come back through here. I think you're crush this day.
Yeah,
right?
I'm sorry.
Hey, no hard feelings. It's not the end of the world, right? You're not the first, and you're sure as hell not going to be the last, right?
It's just tough. Some of these guys, honestly, are built a little more muscly, so they sink. But that doesn't really matter. I've seen guys who are built like rocks who can do this, and guys who are built soft who can do this too. So I think it's a mental thing. You know, they don't do this that often, so it's a big gut check the first time they do it.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
As night falls, candidates rely on their navigation skills as they row their inflatable boats to a nearby base for more PT.
Okay, it's currently 21:30, night 1 of the tour. Students have been at it since 07 in the morning. We just got done piloting on the NSW ribs over here to MCRD. We're planning on doing some more piloting and other things tonight.
A little sore, a little sandy, and a little cold.
Students have been good. They're starting to come together, work together. They're starting to do the little things right, like moving with a purpose, passing the word, so that I think that they're doing well.
Down. Up. Down.
After they return to the SWCC schoolhouse late that night, the candidates carry their boats to the beach for one of the most challenging evolutions of the tour, surf immersion.
Yeah, so right now they're at probably about hour 16 of the tour. and we are doing what we call water immersion, or a water table, where we are basically just testing their mental fortitude and their ability to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Basically, we want to see if the students can handle the cold and the wet. Being a SWCC operator, you're wet and cold all the time.
Walk forward till I tell you to stop!
They're basically just laying in the surf, and it's kind of slowly lowering their core body temp to a point where that's pretty uncomfortable, and they have to make basically the decision of whether they want to be in this program or not. I mean, honestly, it's just uncomfortable. Probably, I mean, you can just imagine being the coldest that you've probably ever been, and then be that way for, 45 minutes.
Help your buddy up if he's having a hard time. Let's go. Stand up, walk forward. Walk forward, let's go.
Yeah, to this point during this table, we've had 2 people not continue training. Decided not to continue training.
So medical's going to check you guys out, make sure you're good to go. Do you feel like you need to see a psych or counselor or anything like that? Good to go.
We're together as one.
This is the first of 3 nights, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense if they know they're going to quit later to continue.
We see winter classes come through here when it's actually cold, right? We see winter classes come through and do the exact same thing when it's actually cold. It's summertime, the water's warm, the air temp outside's warm right now. We know what you should look like.
Arms up.
Because we do this every year.
Wake up!
People are pretty zonked, pretty tired. I think we're hitting early morning, so yeah, people are kind of losing it a little bit. We got to regather.
As the first night comes to an end, exhaustion sets in for the remaining candidates.
Get under the boat!
I mean, it sucks, but we all knew going into it that it was going to suck. You're just going to have to suck it up and make it till Thursday morning.
The worst part of it is just the constant, like, all day grind, and you don't know when you're going to be able to actually settle down for a second unless you're eating. It's been rough, but, like, it's a cool experience at the same time.
Dawn breaks on a new day as the exhausted candidates face the reality that the tour isn't even halfway over. For some, this is fuel to keep pushing. But for those already having trouble keeping up with the class, it's a wake-up call.
What week are we in? 5. Week 5. It's been 5 weeks. I want you to go through that growth moment to say, you know what? I don't have what it takes right now. And I'm aware of that. But you know what? I'm gonna come back stronger. The next time that I go through this, I'm not gonna do the same stuff that I'm doing here. I'm gonna prove to people that I care. I'm gonna prove to people that I want to be here. Not just you two saying it.
I feel fine. My body was just not keeping up. And when you can't keep up anymore, you just can't keep up anymore. So, it is what it is. Don't go in just meeting the standard. You gotta be pretty above the standard. I have no shame. I'm proud of how far I made it. It just didn't work out this time.
We do find that some students just are not physically prepared or mentally prepared as well to carry their own weight, and that causes a safety hazard for the rest of the students in a boat crew.
Another long day of physical training ends on the beach with more surf immersion for the candidates. Luckily, instructors follow this with an opportunity for them to warm up by a fire. Unfortunately, this reward comes with a price, a 2-hour Hauser PT session.
Start working as a team.
Typically, if students do well, then they get to warm up by the fire, but if they don't, then continue on with the Hauser evolution, which lasts up to about 2 hours. So it's a long evolution. Definitely a memorable one too.
Get it off your head! Your whole boat crew is suffering because of you! Your whole class is waiting on you. Get it up. Get it up. Get the line up.
3, 2, 1.
Get the line up. Get it up. 3, 2, 1, up. 8. Down. 7. 6. 7.
7.
8.
8.
7.
7.
6.
Another day of brutal, non-stop physical training follows, where candidates must continue to push through their fatigue and soreness to prove themselves worthy.
Get the water! Hurry up! Get the water, get a head count.
Later that night, they're taken into the ocean on small boats to test their navigation and basic seamanship skills.
So what they're doing is they're swimming down, following the line. Once they get down to the bottom of the line, they have a light, the anchor's lit, and they're actually making sure that the anchor is set and it's tight, and we're able to trust that that anchor is going to hold us at this station.
You want to get out? Booyah! Do that. Booyah!
Yeah, they're tired, but that water keeps them awake.
After a night submerged in cold water, instructors give the candidates a chance to warm up on the beach the following morning.
Hey, this is good going, bro.
They've been running pretty hard.
Milwaukee.
At this point, you can see they're pretty gassed out.
First two, stand by.
Wet, cold, sandy, sleep deprivated, calorie intake's depleted, but you're proving to yourself that you absolutely have more in the tank. You absolutely have more than what you thought you ever had before.
Yeah,
What did you call the oat course? I want you to tell Seaman.
Jungle gym.
Did you hear that? You get to play on a jungle gym, hang out with some of your best friends, huh? Not bad.
Sandy jungle gym today.
Sandy jungle gym. Sandy jungle.
The class gets another chance to prove themselves to be a cohesive team as the instructors put them through the final and the longest Hauser PT session of the tour.
Got it all.
Yeah, so Hauser PT is all about teamwork. You know, there is that, you know, we want to make sure that you're tough enough, you have the grit, determination to push through the physicality portion of it. But ultimately what we're looking for is to build, you know, team cohesion, and when you're in that boat crew, working as a boat crew, someone taking charge of that boat crew, disseminating information, and you know, the entire boat crew working as a team.
When boat crews start arguing with one another, it just makes the situation worse for them.
Let's go. Get it up. Get it up. Get it up. Get it up. Under. Your arms go under the hawser. Your arms go under the hawser.
Oh my God, get back up.
Wire have you not down and have you are up.
All right, up. Now. Two. All right, get it back into a chest carry. 3, 2, 1, up. All right, we're going left foot now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
The exhausted candidates spend the rest of the afternoon and evening swimming laps in the pool, followed by navigation drills in the ocean.
On this side, come down, right?
It starts to become apparent that, you know, students are tired, fatigued, and that's where we want them. Some students perform well. Some students are, you know, they start to make some mistakes here and there.
Get in the water.
Honestly, the brain's not doing bad, given the little amount of sleep. But the body, you can definitely tell, is starting to break down.
Hey, shower off, use the HIPAA cleanse, shower off again.
Medical staff keeps a close eye on the candidates throughout the tour, ensuring there are no serious injuries among the class by doing periodic medical checks.
The energy with the class is the morale's pretty high, so it's easy to have good energy when the morale's high. And with the finish line so close in sight.
Yeah, I think as a class, people starting to come together. And so at this point, you're so tired and you're so hurt that you got the guy to the left and right of you.
No problem. You're good, man. It's the last evo. Let's do it.
And I think that's the whole purpose of this tour, is to really just get everyone to work on one level, one unit.
Let's go. This is where we see you're great. Come on. Get up there. Get up there.
It's frustrating because I'm not good at times, but it's a cool experience. I hope that I'll always remember it, that's for sure. Still got some more time to go. But
45. How many are left? You lost more than 50%. More than 50%. Let's go. Prove that y'all deserve to be here. Come on. Come on. Let's go.
117. Following their final ruck run, Class 117 is ready to move on from Alpha Phase.
Hey, Class 117 started with 45 men at the beginning of selection. After 5 weeks of physical and mental challenges, more than half of those men have quit. They're gone. They didn't have what it takes to be an unconventional warfighter. But you men do. Be proud of that accomplishment, because many people have tried and far fewer have succeeded in making it to this point. Best of luck to each of you throughout the remainder of your training and on at the teams.
Have these 20 men earned the right to continue in our training program?
Yes, sir.
Tour secure.
Check. Class 117, tour secured.
Candidates who complete the tour change out their white undershirts for brown shirts, a symbol of pride within the assessment and selection pipelines of naval special warfare.
Feels amazing. It's kind of unreal. Honestly, we've been working towards this, all of us, for a long time. A lot of hard work, a lot of effort put in, a lot of literal blood, sweat, and tears, and it's all worth it. Feels great. Just non-stop. I mean, tough. There's no other word to describe it. It's hard through and through, but it's a rewarding experience. You go through with these guys and you build these connections, and it's amazing.
When SWCC candidates graduate the tour, they've only completed 1/3 of our entire pipeline training. They'll move on to the next phase of training. At this point, we still expect them to be physically fit. However, we're testing them more on their performance and their aptitude.
Represent, baby. Turn it around, buddy. Go.
Cujo 5-1, this is Stalker. Stand by for information. Cujo, TOT 20.